Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, share, download, and comment. Once more, you are welcome.
Allow me greet you once again. Yes, I welcome you to part 2 of our earlier video on LCD display of strings, or displaying strings on an LCD. And remember, we are doing this on Tinkercad. So let us delve into developing the code for that circuit that we developed. So the code that we are developing will be used to send strings from our microcontroller to our LCD via this data bus. So let's get into the coding session. So this one, we're going to start by specify the title. So we can have our title as string display in LCD, string display in LCD. So that is our title. However, you can change the title depending on maybe the title you intend to use. So what do we have here? In this part, we are going to start by including a certain library that our microcontroller will be using to do the execution or to fetch instructions from. So for those who are not familiar with libraries are like memories that are residing within microcontrollers or another controller. Those libraries, or those memories, they usually store different functions that are set aside or designed for a specific component. For instance, we have libraries for components like LCDs, servo motors, ultrasonic sensors, and many other sensors and components. So in some cases, you may not be required to specify that library, especially when dealing with the common components, like maybe the like LEDs, resistors, or another common component. But when we are handling a sophisticated, we have some components that their functions are not directly available to the Arduino. Therefore, for them to be fetched, their libraries or their memories have to be activated. So to activate that, you have to specify or include that library at the start of your code. So that is what you are going to do, and for that case, you are going to use to include a library by the name LCD. So that library contains different functions and operations of LCD, from which our microcontroller will be fetching instructions. So we are going to start by including that library. So to do that, this is how we are going to do it. So we have hash, then we have include. Make sure they are in lowercase. Include. We have less and greater sign. Then you put that library between these two signs. So our library is liquid. Remember, L for liquid is capital, and C for crystal is capital. Crystal. Then .h. So that's the library that we intend to utilize in this program. So from there, what are we doing next? Next, we are going to specify which pins of the LCD have been connected to the microcontroller. So to achieve that, we are going to use this function that is constant integer. The constant means that those the pins attached to the LCDs attached to those specific Arduino pins are going to remain unchanged during the program. In other words, they will not change. They will be constants. That's why they've been referred to as constant. Then integer, they will be integers but not decimal numbers, or not decimal number but decimal points. They will be all numbers. So we are using integer. So we start by the pins that we have. We have the register select pin, which is RS. We connected to pin number 2. Enable pin, we have connected to pin number 3. Data bus 4, we connected to digital pin number 4. Data pin number 5 was connected to pin number 5. D6 to pin number 6, and finally D7 to pin number 7. Then you close that function. Then from there we also need to create a certain object. So you can specify that. Create an object. So under this one, to do the creation, rather to get this object, we need to specify the class first. So that is liquid. It's good to call class liquid. Liquid crystal. So this is a class within the liquid crystal library, and under that class we'll have an object name by that name LCD. Then we are going to specify again those LCD pins that we have used. So that is RS, enable, D4, all the way to D7. So then we close. From there, we are going now to set the serial monitor debugging rate or data transmission rate, and also specify the LCD that you are using in terms of columns and number of rows. So to do that, we are going to do that in a function, inside a function by the name void loop. Void, make sure they are in small letters. Void, not a void loop, but void setup. Void setup. We have 2 brackets and 2 curly brackets. Then inside the 2 curly brackets is where we are going to write our code. So we are going to start by specify the bound rate, or the serial monitor debugging rate, or rather the speed at which data will be transmitted from our microcontroller to our LCD. So to do that, you're going to use a function by the name serial.print, .begin. So S should be capital, serial.begin. We have 2 brackets. Make sure you remember to terminate. Then inside the brackets we have to specify that rate, and I'm going to use 9600. So what this 9600 means that after every 1 second this number of data will be transmitted. Then the next part is to specify or to give the specifications of our LCD in terms of columns and rows. So we are going to use a function by the name LCD.begin. Then we start by the number of columns. We are using 16 columns and 2 rows. Remember to close. Then from there, the next part, I want now to give the string that will be displayed on our LCD during the idling time, or at the initial stages when we activate our LCD. So that string will be displayed. Once you power the LCD, that string will be displayed on the screen. So to do that, you can start by setting the cursor. Remember, that string can start from anywhere within the screen, either at the margin or anywhere within the screen. So that one is controlled by specify the position of the cursor. You can specify or choose not to. If you don't specify, the LCD will assume that the string should start at the margin or at the origin. So if you don't want to start at the margin or at the origin, you have to specify the column and the row in which you want that string to be displayed. So in my case, I want to display that string at the middle of the first row of the LCD. So to achieve that, I'm going to set the cursor. So I'm going to use the function or the command lcd dot set cursor. Say for cursor is capital, remember, cursor. Then I want it to start at maybe column 4, row 0. So I'm done with that one. Then I want now to specify that string. So to do that, I'm going to use a command by the name lcd dot print. So this command will print that string on the LCD. So I open two brackets, I can terminate that function. Then inside the brackets, I want now to specify that string. So that string, to do that, I have to put it under quotes, or rather under two opening and closing speech marks. So the string that I need to be displayed initially will be LCD ready. Let's make it capital or capsule, LCD ready. So this is a string that will be appearing. Then I can give it some delay before it vanishes. So delay, I can give it a delay of 2 seconds, which is an equivalent of 2000 milliseconds. Then from there, now I can proceed now to develop that string that I would like my Arduino to send it to the LCD in a repetitive manner. So to do that, we are going to do that under a function by the name void loop. So we have void loop, open two brackets, we have two curly brackets. Then as you already know, our code should be inside the curly brackets. Then now I want us now, remember we already at this point, at the end of the void setup function, we are already having a sub display on the screen. So for us to bring another display, we have to clear that first. So we have to give a command to clear that display. So that command will be lcd dot clear. Then we use to open two brackets, then we close our function. Then we also need to specify where do we wish our string to start from. In other words, we're going to set the cursor. Again, we are going to use a command by the name lcd dot set cursor, lcd dot set cursor. Remember, C is capital. Set cursor. Set cursor. Then I want to start my string at the origin. So column 0, row 0. That is at the origin. 0 0 at the origin. Column 0, row 0, or first column, first row. I need to close it that way. Then now I want, what do I intend to print? So lcd dot print, lcd dot print. I want to print a certain string. So you can use string of your choice, or you use mine. So I have those two brackets. I've terminated that. Then inside the brackets, I want to type what I want to display. So again, I have to open two speech marks. So then inside the speech marks, I type the string that I want to display. So I can type maybe I love my family. So this is a string that will be displayed at the first row after 2 seconds. That is after I've activated my LCD. this one will be displayed. Then after 2 seconds, this one will be displayed. So now from there, I can give it some delay. That is the duration over which that string will be displayed before display the next string. So I can give it a delay of 1 second. So delay of 1 second. So that is it. So this will be displaying the first row. I want to display another string on the second row. To do that, I just follow the same thing. I set the cursor. I don't want to clear. I want that string in the first row to remain. So I'm not going to use this function on LCD clearing. So I won't use this one because I want to retain that display. So what I'll use, I'll now start by setting the cursor. So LCD dot set cursor. I want to set it in the second row. So in the second row, I can choose to start the string at the margin or at the origin or anywhere within that row. So I want to have it at maybe column 5. Then second row. Second row is row number 1 because the first row is row number 0. Remember. So I've set the cursor. Then what do I want to print, or rather what do I want to display? So to do that, I have LCD dot print. Then whatever I want to print, I put it in brackets. Remember to terminate that. Then inside the brackets, I use my 2 speech marks. Then inside those 2 speech marks, I type the string that I want. So maybe I want to use so much. That made I love my family so much. So this string that will be displayed. Then for how long will that string remain on the screen? So that will be determined by introducing a delay. So you can choose to use 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So that is the code that will display these strings on the LCD. I believe the code is okay. Let's do some cross-checking and see if we have any errors. Let's see if we have any errors by doing the simulation. Yeah, our code is okay. There are no errors. So let's see what is being displayed. Oh, we need to do some adjustments. There appears to be something missing in our connection. 330, that is okay. 5 volts ground. Something is missing. Let's check what is missing. Register select is pin number 2. 3 is for the enable. Let's see where the problem is. Try to do some troubleshooting. We see why our LCD is not lighting up or it's not displaying. Let's check the code. especially in the numbering of these variables 4, 5, 6, 7. That is okay. Oh, we have something here. Let's see if this could be the problem. So we have this one should be D, which is more than D. See, yeah, that was the error. We forgot there was an error here. We had written 4-5 instead of D5, so that is the error that was leading us to having no display. So let's see what is being displayed. So this, you can see this is our initial display, which is at the middle of our screen. Then after 2 seconds, let's see, we have display, yeah, I think it has delayed a bit. So 2 seconds, we have the first string being displayed. So this is I love my family so much. So it appears I need to push this string. I need to push the first string to start at the origin. So to achieve that, I need to push the cursor. Let me see. Let's set it in the right position. I don't know why. Oh, this, I've seen the problem. I had introduced some spacing before the letter I. So let's see if that one has been rectified. So this is the initial display. I love my family. That is okay. Then the next display so much. I think it is taking somehow long, more than 1 second. I think that maybe is the system issue, because our code is okay. So that is how we develop our code for displaying a string on an LCD. You can play around, you can change the length of this string. You can also change the position of the starting point of the strings. You can also make the strings to move on the screen from left to right, or right to left. You can also make those strings to behave as if they are blinking or dazzling. That's all can be achieved by just doing some modifications on the code. So I believe the video has been helpful to you. So in case you have any problem, in case you have any concerns, maybe you need any assistance, feel free to reach us out. I'm more than willing to extend my hand of help to anyone who is in need of it. So remember to subscribe to my channel. Also remember to like, download, and also share. And remember to click the bell so that whenever I have new uploads, you can be notified and be the first among the first people to watch the videos that I am going to be preparing for you. So that is all for now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for watching our video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Also remember to click the bell to be notified once we upload new videos. See you next video.